Unlike the conventional refrigerated women that have garnered criticism for their dehumanized roles as mere hero motivation, Bob and Hopper are comprehensively developed prior to their deaths, and Hopper is swiftly upgraded to dead man thawing following his implied demise. Nevertheless, these characters do serve the original function of the refrigerated, lighting a fire under or fueling the demons of a protagonist, in this case, the intrepid Joyce Byers. It could be argued that Bob's death facilitates Joyce's trauma bond with Hopper prior to the maturation of deeper feeling, and intensifies the stakes when Joyce rushes to Hopper's rescue. Both deaths, real and assumed, make the conflict even more personal for Joyce. Not only is her son nearly taken from her multiple times, but her love interest's life hangs in the balance too, spurring her to increasingly perilous acts of heroism. Both Billy and Dr. Brenner play abusive roles, terrorizing Max and Eleven respectively. Billy is a violent, volatile bully who torments his younger sibling, while Dr. Brenner manipulates and exploits his powerful but vulnerable ward. They may seem beyond redemption, even within the context of their reasoning and backstories, with Billy's being particularly sympathetic. But death, especially a noble one, has a way of awakening our empathy and chilling our lust for retributive justice, perhaps because justice is in fact served, or perhaps because we are morally better when working in tragic retrospect, looking back on a life through the lens of its loss. Dr. Brenner's last moments, carrying Eleven away from imminent danger, dying in the process of protecting her, makes him admirable if only for an instant. Billy's unlikely heroism and gruesome end engenders something akin to respect, or at the very least, compassion. We may not endorse Max's guilt for hating him as she did, but we do see him through more nuanced eyes after he makes the ultimate sacrifice. Eddie has a bullseye on his back from the word go, and so his death isn't exactly the penultimate plot twist. Nevertheless, his martyrdom runs contrary to his character, at least from his perspective, which is debatably informed by the people who reject him and whose views he claims to reject. The flamboyant, heavy metal dungeon master, who seems to live as much in fantasy as reality, denounces the role of hero repeatedly, ascribing that honor instead to his more conventionally manly counterpart, Steve Harrington. They're contrasted as if they're rivals, despite no concrete basis for competition and thus comparison. It is Eddie himself who alerts us to the juxtaposition, with what may be described as self-deprecation, sarcasm, and even a kind of backhanded flattery of Steve's orthodox masculinity and traditional attractiveness, softened by the authentic support he shows his friends, most especially his and Steve's mutual mentee, Dustin Henderson. Eddie is endearingly genuine, and so his death does him a poetic justice, securing the validation and distinction his character deserves. Max's character undergoes extensive exploration before she is sacrificed and resurrected in true messianic fashion, though the role of fictive messiah goes first and foremost to Eleven, who raises her from the dead. Max is more of a Lazarus, enabling a demonstration of Eleven's unparalleled powers. Comatose and thus in narrative limbo, we may consider her suspended between the tropes of refrigerated woman and dead man thawing. What comes next will determine where she truly resides on that spectrum, motivation for the hero, or a protagonist back for a second round. Regardless of the end result, we can appreciate the work that went into creating a fully realized character, not a prop but a person, whether she returns from storytelling purgatory or not.